Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Monique Macrin. I'm a wellness coach as well as a pregnancy and postpartum coach. This channel is a one-stop shop for everything motherhood, womanhood and reproductive health. So I post videos around pregnancy, child care, postpartum care. You know, I also do reviews, maternity services reviews for different hospitals in the country, in Kenya, yes. So and today we're going to talk about colic. So colic has been a headache in most houses. Like when you have a colic baby, like usually you're not at the best mental state, because sometimes you don't even know what is wrong with the child. You're not able to know if this child has colic. Sometimes you ask yourself, have I done something or have I not done something that is causing this child to cry? Yeah? So today I want to let you know that colic is, first of all, nothing serious. It usually disappears after 4 months most of the time. Another thing is sometimes there's nothing you really can do because of some causes. Yeah, sometimes you may be able to prevent it. Other times, depending on what is causing the colic, you may not be able to prevent it. So kindly cut yourself some slack. Just know that this is a process that most children go through, but it usually disappears after 4 months. So do not be hard on yourself. Try to also understand the child, because the child is going through a lot here. So when you understand the child and you also cut yourself some slack, you're likely to go through it with more grace and more ease. And that is my hope. So let's start this video by identifying some symptoms, some signs and symptoms of colic, so that when our baby is crying uncontrollably, at least we are not so lost. We're not so lost trying to determine what is wrong with this child. After that, then we are going to talk about the causes of colic, and also treatment for colic. So stay tuned, and up to this point, I'm really hoping that you have already subscribed, that you have liked this video, and just leave a comment at this. Just leave a comment down there. It really encourages me. Okay, and it also helps my channel to grow. So let's talk about the first sign of colic is the child usually cries in a high-pitched voice that is usually very loud. Colic babies have a pattern. You will notice that this child is crying for like 3 hours in a day, and it is uncontrollable. The child is, nothing really seems to calm the child. That is one thing. And then most of the times this child cries for at least 3 days in a week, 3 weeks. And then so there's the 3 rules. The first one is at least 3 hours in a day, then at least 3 weeks, 3 days in a week, and most of the times this happens for 3 months. Usually the 4th month, it usually gets better. Another sign of colic, another sign that you can use to identify colic is a flushed face. Probably because of the crying, the face turns a little bit reddish, pinkish because of the crying. Another thing is that a colic baby tends to arch their back upwards like that because of the discomfort in their tummy. So they tend to arch their back like that, and then they clench their fist when they are crying, and they curl their legs mostly towards the tummy. So when you see a child that is crying and they have clenched their fist, they have arched their back, and they are also they have also curled their leg, then most likely that is colic. And sometimes when you try to touch the tummy, it's usually hard, and especially when they are crying. Also, another thing, if this child is crying and also keeps on burping is, that, let me try to get the voice to you. A sound like that is burping. Yeah, so they are trying to let out air. So that is a sign that there's a lot of trapped air. So that is one of the things that you can use to identify colic. Now, there are so many other causes, but those are the basic ones. Those are like really good pointers. And now let's go to the causes of colic. The main cause of colic is trapped gases. Yeah, and this happens mostly when do children when do children get to have trapped gases in their stomach, in their tummy? This can happen when they're feeding, like when they are suckling, and then maybe the attachment, the latch is not really good. Okay, I need to get my baby, she has woken up. So yeah, when the child is swallowing milk, they swallow together with the air, because probably they feel like, even if you feed something, if when you're doing that, you yourself as an adult, then you swallow the air. So for the child, sometimes it gets trapped in the tummy, and that can be really, really painful. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to also understand the child, understand that they're also going through a lot of discomfort. Another cause of colic is an immature digestive system. Yes, so most of the times, or sometimes rather, children are born when their digestive system has not fully developed, and this is not a bad thing. Yeah, it just happens, and it is not a mistake of the mom or anyone, but as we said earlier in the video, these resolves after 4 months most of the time. So by 4 months, the digestive system has fully formed, and if that was the cause, then the colic will, will ease. Another cause of colic is food intolerance and allergies. So it's very important to try and relate. Did you eat, anytime you eat a specific food, does the baby cry? You get? So you can try and figure out things. Other times, the child could be lactose intolerant, and you're feeding this child with formula milk or cow's milk. So if this is the case, then you see why this child will continue crying over and over, because you're feeding them something that they are intolerant to, something that is making them uncomfortable. Another cause is reflux. We can compare reflux to heartburns. So heartburn, we can try and define heartburn as the way the content of the tummy comes back up, causing an irritation, a certain discomfort, that even pain, sometimes it can be really painful. So this is what some children go through during reflux, yeah, and this causes pain, and as a result, we say the baby is colic. Another cause of colic could be an imbalanced gut bacteria. So it is really important that our gut has balanced bacteria. It has the good bacteria because it helps with digestive issues. It helps in maintaining the health of that region. But that could not be the case. Actually, for most children, we as the parents have to introduce the gut bacteria, sometimes through what we feed ourselves and through things like breast milk or probiotics. Yes. So you'll find that in children who are formula fed, there's usually no direct way of introducing this gut bacteria. So if this was a pre-existing situation in the child's tummy already, now you see how it can keep getting worse over time. Okay. Another cause of colic is emotional instability. So this can happen where the child feels neglected, where the child feels unsafe, and the child feels bored. Maybe no one is talking to the child, no one has held the child for some time, or the child just is not hearing familiar voices, something to make the baby feel like they're at home, being surrounded by people that love and care for it. So if this happens, the child can cry. So those are the causes of colic, and I hope that it has been an informative session. Please like this video, share it with your friends. Now at least we know how to be able to identify colic and some of the causes of colic. And in the next video, as usual, we discuss the treatment, mostly from the doctor's desk, and also home remedies. Until next time.